A very good morning to all. So we finished the theoretical parts of taxonomy. Now we are moving on to the family-wise classes. Okay. So first, various workers divided dichotomy into various number of families, and you studied the classification of Bentham and Hooker, and he classified them into under the genera Plantarum, and there are two, not three families, and also there are subclasses Polypetalae, Gammopetalae and Monoclamidae. Now we are moving on to the first subclass Polypetalae and its series Thalamiflorae. So what is the peculiar feature of Polypetalae? Its flowers are dichlamydous, petals and sepals present. Then petals are free, Polypetalae. Then stamens are usually infinite in number. Carpels are free or united. So its first series is Thalamiflorae. So Thalamiflorae, the series is characterized by prominent and convex thalamus. This is the structure thalamus. In the section, this is the thalamus, prominent and convex thalamus. Then ovary is superior, ovary is at the top position. Okay. Then numerous stamens. This is the condition, and disc is also absent in Thalamiflorae. So first we are studying the family coming under the series Thalamiflorae and cohort or order Rhanales. Okay, so this Rhanales order usually consists of flowers with numerous parts, numerous stamens, numerous carpels, etc. are numerous. Carpels are free, that is apocarpus condition. You studied the two groups, apocarpus and syncarpus. Here carpels are free or apocarpus, and embryo is very small, embedded in fleshy endosperm. Okay. So coming under in this Polypetalae series Thalamiflorae, order Rhanales, we are going to discuss the first family Annonaceae. Okay, so Annonaceae, its systematic position is given: dicotyledons, Polypetalae, Thalamiflorae, Rhanales, Annonaceae. You know, dicotyledon, two cotyledons, Polypetalae, petals free, Thalamiflorae, prominent thalamus, superior ovary, Rhanales, infinite number of stamens, carpels, etc. Clear? So the family Annonaceae. Okay. So where these members are distributed? Usually there are 130 genera and 2,300 species all over the world, and in India there is 25 genera and 200 species in India, and these members are usually occur at the tropical regions. Temperate zone also you can see. Okay. Now what is the habit? Usually people can identify easily the members of Annonaceae. They may be of woody shrubs, they may be of climbers, woody climbers, and that is a very important feature. Then one plant, namely Artabotrys, having hook in their structure, in their plant body, so that is hook climber or woody shrubs. So this is the plants having the fruits also. Woody climbers and stragglers, example Artabotrys. And in the Artabotrys, pedicel is modified into hook. See, this is the pedicel that modified into hook. It is the flower. Now, most of the plants are familiar with you, and the peculiar feature is the presence of the thick and fleshy perianth. Okay. Then root system. Usually taproot system, and that is deeply and extensively branched taproot system is present here. And that is extensively branched. Stem is having erect. Usually woody stem may be branched or climbing. Okay. Woody climbers branched, or usually you can see they are very erect. The leaves. Leaves are simple leaves, alternate. Disticus means attached on the stem in two rows in some cases. Exstipulate means stipules are absent. Gland dotted. This is an important feature, gland dotted. And leaf margins undulate, wavy nature of leaf margins on the margin of leaf. All the morphological features you already studied. Clear? Now, this is the one plant, very common plant, Polyalthia longifolia, Aranamaram. You can see in our campus so many of these plants in conical appearance. So see what is undulate. Its border margin is like wavy appearance. Leaf margin is wavy. That is undulate in nature. Okay. This is a closer view of the Polyalthia longifolia. See the leafy nature of its margin. Now, this is the plant Polyalthia, a pyramid-like long plants, usually used for decorative purposes in gardens. Now about the flowers. So usually flowers are bracteate or ebracteate. Means what? Bract present or some cases bract may be absent. Pedicellate usually having stalks and they occur in umbel or cymose inflorescence. Some having solitary arises from the stem directly. That is known as colline. The stem on it arises. Greenish yellow in color. Usually flowers greenish yellow in color. Not a dark color, not brightly colored, but greenish or yellow in color. Then flowers are all bisexual, actinomorphic, regular, hemicyclic and hypogynous. All these terms you are familiar. Inflorescence is solitary, axillary, terminal or cauliflorous. Cauliflory means attached on the stem. Terminal portion or axillary portion you can see the inflorescence. See here an example. This is the plant, the color, greenish color, light yellowish in color. This is the Polyalthia flower. See the Polyalthia flower. This structure is the very identifying feature of Annonaceae. That is raised conical or convex thalamus. And these are the 1, 2, 3 petal and lower also 1, 2, 3, 3 plus 3 arrangement. And both are same color, sepal and petal. That's known as perianth, and it is thick also, light in color, yellow or green in color. Okay. See, this is the another plant, Annona glabra. This is very common in the riverside, usually in the wetland areas, and it has also thick petals or perianth in 2 rows, and this also is some pink coloration in the inner whorl of petals. Next, calyx. Calyx is, this is a colline nature, colline nature attached on the stem, the flowers. Calyx is sepals 3, polysepalous. Base it is connate or attached, and estuation is valvate estuation. Now, corolla. Corolla is petals in 2 whorls, 3 plus 3. You already seen that in the last slide's picture. This is the corolla, 3 plus 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Outer whorl 3, inner whorl 3. Okay. Then petals 3, 3 plus 3, sepals 3. Okay. Polysepalous, petals also polypetalous, valvate. Both are valvate estuation. Petals usually thick and fleshy. When you touch it, it's a very thick and fleshy. In some cases like Annona squamosa, our common plant, having inner 3 petals are not clear, very small, minute one. Sepals and petals are somewhat alike, so you can call it as perianth. Okay. So this is the condition. Outer 3, 1, 2, 3, inner 1, 2, 3. See? Here also. Androecium. Stamens are numerous. That is a peculiar feature. Arranged spirally in the conical thalamus. So there is a conical thalamus that already shown. On the thalamus, stamens are arranged spirally, numerous in number. Then short and thick filaments are the characteristic features. They are, anthers are long also. The short filament, but anthers having a connective also at the center. Connective is prolonged out and form a hood-like structure. So this is important. Androecium in Annonaceae questions may be asked to write. What is the number? Numerous stamens. What is the structure? Filaments short, anthers long. Connective is prolonged form hood-like structure. Then gynoecium. Carpels numerous. Same that of Androecium. Very short style, or you can say even absent. Stigma is also sessile. You know the part ovary, style, stigma. Style is very short or absent. Stigma is sessile. Basal portion ovary. That is numerous and free. Apocarpus. Not united. Apocarpus. They are arranged spirally on the thalamus, raised convex thalamus. On the top it is arranged. Number of ovule is maybe 1 to many. In Annona there is a single basal ovule. Kananga is a plant, Polyalthia another one. Both cases ovules in marginal placentation, but in Annona it is basal placentation. So placentation also you studied. Ovary is superior and ovule anatropous. See, this is the diagram you can see here. Cut open flower. This is the raised thalamus. Okay, convex or concave thalamus. What is this dark colored this one? This is the number of androecium, stamens. Okay, and this is the number of gynoecium, carpels. So they are free. Carpels arranged here, stamens arranged on both sides. These are the petals. Fruit is an indehiscent aggregate fruit. Studied fruit developed from an apocarpous ovary is called what? Aggregate fruit. Here the fruit is developed from apocarpous ovary aggregate. Different are there. In Annona there is a single aggregate fruit. In Polyalthia it is berries. Aggregate fruit in berries. In Kananga or Polyalthia there is eterio of berries. You studied that in the classification of fruit. Okay. Then seeds are with a test and tegmen and ruminate endosperm. Small endosperm, embryo is small. So this is the fruits of Annona in berries. Eterio of berries. These are the seeds. Now this is the floral diagram of the family Annonaceae. You know how many sepals? 3 sepals. 1, 2 and 3. Outer 3 sepals. They are free and free. 3 sepals, valvate estuation. Okay, petals you see 3 plus 3. 3 outer and 3 inner. See 1, 2, 3 outer. Okay, what about 3 inner? 1, 2 and 3 inner. Okay, then numerous stamens and numerous carpels. They are free. See, so this is the outermost. This is the stamens and this is the carpel. They are spirally arranged. Numerous. So this is the bracts and this is the axis. Okay, now floral formula you can see. Bracteate. This you can have to draw like this cross. Actinomorphic. Calyx 3. That is sepals 3. Corolla 3 plus 3. Androecium infinite. Gynoecium infinite. The ovary superior. Line here superior. Okay. So you can read from this the features. Okay. Now what about the economic importance of family Annonaceae? The food, it is mainly edible, used as food. Annona species yield edible fruit. This is the familiar fruit for you, Annona. Okay, Sidapalam, Ata, Chaka, likewise you may be called it. Now, this is the plant, Annona, that we are eating, edible one. This is another one having spines on the outer, Mullata, you can call it as Annona muricata. And this is another one, pond apple. Annona glabra, very smooth glabrous surface. Then another economic importance is ornamental purpose. 2 plants usually used, Kananga and Polyalthia. This is the plant Kananga, highly fragrant flowers, usually grow in temples and also in gardens. This is also used as decorative purpose, Polyalthia. This is Polyalthia, this is Kananga. And Kananga water is used as a substitute for rose water and used in perfume industry. This is a Kananga water available in market as perfume. This is a flower of Kananga, highly fragrant flowers. Now, edible fruits, you studied Annona squamosa, Annona reticulata also edible, Annona squamosa also edible. Our common Athaparam, Sidaparam, that is Annona squamosa. Xylopia yield timber and Guinea pepper. That's a market name, Guinea pepper, yielded by Xylopia. Uvarian arum is very common in our villages, and this yield, its root yield oil, and that is also medicinal. Okay. And in the phylogeny, what are the primitive features of this family? These features are woody in habit. Herbaceous is considered as advanced, woody is considered as primitive. So this is primitive. Then simple alternate leaves and flowers regular bisexual hemicyclic hypogynous. Stamens or carpels are numerous here. That is also a primitive feature. Free nature of floral parts. Then prominent conical thalamus, you know now. Then stamens with a prolonged connective. That connective come out. ruminate, endosperm. These are the primitive features of the family Anonaceae. See, this is the diagram. Likewise, you have to draw in your record sheet. So first you have to draw an habit. This is the habit of the plant Annona reticulata. This plant with a flower bud or flower. This is the flower LS. While you sectioning, you can get like this. These are here androecium. These are the gynoecium. Then peria, that is corolla and sepals. Okay. Now see the picture of the stamen. This is the stamen. Stamen is having short filament and also connective come out as like a hood. This is the hood. Okay. This, see the structure is cut open. Okay. So this is the way you have to draw the floral diagram that once I shown. Spiral arrangement. See how it is arranged spirally. From gynoecium, what starting androecium, spiral arrangement. Then 3 plus 3 petals and outer 3 sepals also you can draw. This is the raised conical thalamus. Okay, clear? Now, so once again I will conclude by familiarizing the plants coming under this family. Annona squamosa, Annona reticulata, two common plants available in our area. One is Annona squamosa, Seedapalam. Annona reticulata, we call it as Panjasara Kai or Rata Chaka likewise. Uvarian Adam, our in villages and all in shrubby area you can see. Annona glabra also pond apple in wetland area near mangroves you can see. Polyalthia longifolia common, very common in our campus. Then Cananga odorata also used in temples and houses, very fragrant flowers. So you can have herbarium from any 2 plant or any 3 plant from this. Okay. Now these are the plants. This is a Cananga odorata. This is a Uvarian arum. Its flower is like this. This is Polyalthia longifolia. This is Annona reticulata, very common in our houses. This is Annona squamosa. See the difference. Somewhat here it is small pieces like surface, but here surface somewhat smooth. This is reticulata in our campus also there. This is squamosa and this is Annona glabra. See the difference in the nature of fruits. So these 6 plants you are familiar with, and these usually asking for practical examinations also from any of these plants, and you have to prepare herbarium also from this. So what we studied today is the family Annonaceae. Many important characteristic feature is the raised conical thalamus with the apocarpus gynoecium, large number of stamens, then aggregate fruit, woody structure of or habit woody climbers. Then also you can have the perianth 3 plus 3 arrangement of petals, 3 arrangement of sepals. They are not brightly colored, they are creamy yellow or white in colors, very thick perianth. So stamens are also peculiar, numerous, filaments are very short, connective come out as a structure called hood. So that's all about the family Annonaceae, and you have to also study the primitive features and economic importance of the family Annonaceae. So, okay, questions from this part is first, describe the androecium in Annonaceae. What are these type of fruits in Annonaceae? Then also you can have the primitive features of family Annonaceae, economic importance of the family Annonaceae. And some of the plants are used as insecticide. Usually the Annona reticulata, its leaves crushed and used as insecticide to remove small insects and also lice from our hair. It's very highly intensive insecticide. This Annona reticulata leaves. Okay, so that's all about family Annonaceae. So I hope you understood well. So study and thank you.